Are you considering relocating to the Raleigh, Wake Forest area, but you're currently living out of state and you don't have a clue how to get started finding a new home here? Maybe you're thinking it's just too difficult to buy a new home out of state while at the same time getting your existing home sold. Well, you're in luck, because today I'm going to explain the entire process from A to Z of buying a Raleigh, Wake Forest area home sight unseen. And we're going to get started right now. Hi guys, I'm Mike Sanders with the Mike Sanders team here at RE/MAX United. So how do you buy a new home in another state, sometimes even cross country, without even setting foot in the home before your move-in date? A recent study published in the New York Times shows that as many as 20% of buyers submitted an offer on a home without even seeing it in person first. And due to COVID-19, that number continues to rise. Let's dive into some tips on how you can buy a new home sight unseen. So why are so many homes selling sight unseen? Well, one reason is the fact that many resale homes in the Raleigh, Wake Forest area have been selling within days with multiple offers well over list price. So with the inventory of homes being somewhat limited within certain price points, buyers are choosing to act fast on homes, sometimes without even seeing it first. Okay, so step number one when buying a home sight unseen is to think hard about the type of living arrangement you're looking for in a home. How many bedrooms and bathrooms do you need? Will you be working from home part-time or maybe even full-time? Maybe you need an office. What area of Raleigh or Wake County is going to work for you? Do you want to be within a certain distance to various amenities? What type of neighborhood is going to fit your lifestyle? Are you needing on-site amenities such as a community swimming pool or walking trails? Do you need to be near a major road corridor to make for an easy commute? These are all things to consider up front. One thing that I really recommend if you're able to is to visit the area you're interested in for 1 to 2 days and drive the area to get a feel for what different municipalities and neighborhoods are like. That way, when the right home becomes available, you'll at least know what the area is like so you can move quickly on an offer. Having at least some basic knowledge of the area is half the battle when buying sight unseen. This is true for both resale homes and brand new construction. Will you be commuting regularly from your new home to a job in the area? How long will it take to get from your new home to work? You can either go to Google Maps and type in directions from the home area to work, or you can do a neat trick that I do occasionally by checking the local live traffic cams in the area. I do this during the morning and afternoon commute times. In the Raleigh area, a good source for live traffic cam data is the WRAL TV5 news traffic site. I recommend checking it several times a day over the course of a couple weeks to get a good feel of what kind of traffic issues you might be dealing with. All right, step number 2 is speaking with a lender to determine your spending power. You don't want to be shopping for homes only to find out later on that you don't qualify for a loan on the dream home that you've just fallen in love with. Even more important is by getting pre-qualified early on. If for some reason you happen to have any unfavorable or erroneous items on your credit report that you were unaware of, you'll have an opportunity to hopefully remedy such items before you find that dream home, when it's too late to fix negative credit items. One thing that I feel is extremely important is to find a local lender that knows the Raleigh, Wake Forest market, who can get you qualified fast and can easily update your pre-approval documents on an as-needed basis. As your local realtor, I can help direct you to local lenders who can help you with excellent rates and customer service. Okay, here's a big one. Hire a local experienced agent to help you who works with and lives in the areas you're interested in. This is important because by living in the areas in which they work, your realtor will probably know about homes that aren't yet available in the area. Furthermore, your agent should be aware of things that might cause you issues down the road that might not be apparent when you're buying from another state or even cross country. If you're purchasing a new construction home, this process could take between 6 to 8 months from the lot being cleared to the final walkthrough. Personally, I take a very hands-on, active approach by visiting the home during all phases of the construction process to pretty much make sure things are progressing as planned. I watch out for potential problems before they develop into something bigger, something you most likely won't be able to accomplish on your own living out of state. I also schedule virtual tours with my buyer clients via Zoom or FaceTime to show you how the home would appear as if you were there in person with me. All right, step number 4 is pretty obvious, finding the home you want. We accomplish this by a pretty simple process. First, reach out to me via text, email, or give me a call. We'll schedule a time to chat to get acquainted, or we can schedule a Zoom call so we can discuss in detail all of your options. We'll not only discuss what your dream home looks like, but what it doesn't look like. We'll also discuss the different areas around Raleigh that you might want to consider. Once we have this initial conversation, I'll put you in touch with a trusted local lender who can get your financing lined up. During this same time, I'll get started working on your home search. I'll periodically email you with home options that match your criteria. Once you start seeing homes that resonate with you, we can conduct a virtual Zoom or FaceTime call with me actually on site at the home, where I'll walk you through the home just as if you're there with me. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Why can't I just view the builder's or the seller's virtual online home tour? Well, here's the thing. You've got to realize that in new home construction, the home you're seeing is rarely the home you're actually buying. So having me there in person with you, able to see the good things as the bad things, is extremely important. With a resale home, you want to know if there are any negative features of the home that were strategically left out of the photos or the online home tour. During this Zoom or FaceTime tour, ask a lot of questions. It's a great idea to start the tour outside, even down the street, so you have a great point of reference of what the home is going to be like. As your realtor, I represent your interest and your interest only, not the interests of the builder. Having someone like me there that you can trust is huge, especially when you're an out-of-state buyer. Okay, buying a home is a really big deal. You're probably making one of the biggest financial purchases of your entire life. It's a process that can be somewhat risky if you don't have someone local who can act as your advocate. You're putting down a lot of money on something complex and sight unseen. There are lots of things that can potentially go wrong. Just keep this in mind. There are several ways that you can mitigate your risk. The most obvious is having an experienced realtor like myself on site who, again, can watch out for the obvious issues before you even write a check. Secondly, you need a local, trusted, and experienced home inspector to conduct a thorough home inspection of the home during what's called the due diligence period. This is extremely true for resale homes, but it's also very true for new construction homes. I, as your realtor, have several licensed professional home inspectors who can conduct your inspections for you. Okay, in North Carolina, we have a thing called the due diligence period. Basically, it's a time period. It's usually between 2 and 3 weeks after you come under contract that you have to inspect the home. You can put together your home loan, your financing. It just gives you a couple weeks to figure out things before you actually close on the home. And here's a major issue to think about when you're dealing with the due diligence period. Typically, you're going to have to put down a deposit. It can be around 1%. It can be less. It can be more. This is money that's called a due diligence deposit. For all intents and purposes, you will never get this money back. So it's very important to have someone you trust who can navigate you through this process without losing a lot of money potentially. All right, the last step of the process is the final walkthrough prior to closing. This is where you visit the home to make sure it meets your expectations prior to taking actual ownership. If it's new construction, there are typically several such walkthroughs throughout the construction process. One of which is called a pre-drywall walkthrough, where you see the home's substructure prior to installation of walls. If you're one of those sight unseen buyers who can't be present during these inspections, no problem. As your local realtor, I'm there locally to handle everything for you. You don't need to be present for any portion of the process if you can or simply don't wish to be present. All closing documentation can be overnighted to you anywhere in the world for signing locally in the presence of a local notary who can usually be found at a local bank near you. Once signed, you'll mail the documents back to the closing attorney and I handle the rest. I, along with the closing attorney, will get everything closed and processed, and I'll get your house keys to you. At this point, you can simply move in when you're ready. If you have any questions at all about the Raleigh or Wake Forest area or any of the other Wake County towns or municipalities, make sure you shoot me a text, email, or give me a call at 919-218-7525. I'm a Wake County realtor and native. I've lived and worked in these communities that are on my channel my entire life. Believe me when I say I know Wake County. I get questions all the time about what are the best strategies for buying and selling homes here in this crazy real estate market. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm never too busy to help. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, again, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. I'll be shooting many more local areas in the future, so let me know in the comments section below if there's a particular area or neighborhood that you'd like for me to consider for a future video, or if you have any questions whatsoever. Again, I'm Mike Sanders with Mike Sanders Team Realty at RE/MAX United. Thanks again for watching, and remember, get Mike and get moved.